Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Now, I don't normally post back-to-back shard opening videos. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever done it before, but I've had a very, very busy weekend. I went for a tour on Boston Harbor, which is really, really fun. Sometimes, like, close to home, you know, I live in the Boston area, but sometimes close to home, you don't tend to enjoy things that are really, you know, not just historical, but just special about your area. You just take them for granted. So that was a lot of fun, and I took my son to the beach all day today. So anyway, long story short, I'm like, I came back, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, okay, I need to put out a Raid Shadow Legends video. What do I do? Well, the easiest thing is shard opening, but I'm going to do a twist to today's shard opening video. Yesterday, we raised some money for India, going through, obviously, a crisis right now. Today, we're actually going to, you know, take it back in-game. Every champion that I open, what I'm going to do is go to that faction and tell you my most wanted champion from that faction as well, and the champion that I use most in the faction. So kind of like my go-to, my ride or die, and my most wanted. So I thought that would be kind of a fun twist. Let me know if you like that. If not, we're just gonna stick to the regular shard openings. So starting out with Basilisk, who's Lizardmen. So what Lizardman do I use the most is the question. I think this is the only faction that I own all of the legendary champions for. So it's gonna be an easy one. My favorite, I said it was gonna be easy. My most used, I'm gonna say, is Dracomorph, even though I think that Krisk is probably the champion. If I had to like pick one champion to start my account with, I think I would go with Krisk over Draco, but Draco, I use him in more areas, so maybe I'd be wrong there. My most wanted, well, I'm only missing one good champion, really, and it's Ox the Remembered. Really good champion here. I'm not going to go through all of their kits, but from what I hear, he actually surprisingly hits pretty hard too, so great clan boss champion. Oh my god, trying to already give me $100 more to spend. Jeez, man. Plarium!
No, sir!
All right, here we go. 8 left. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. Okay, so we have, so Skinwalkers. We're covering all of the crappy, or, you know, there are some outliers, but some of the undervalued factions out there. So who's my most wanted? It's going to be Longbeard. I love the ally attack champions. They're kind of my favorite ally attack. Ally attack is my favorite meta right now in the game. I mentioned that in a few other videos. My most used is probably going to be... It's funny, looking here, I don't use any of these guys frequently. The only guy who I use every single, you know, week or whatever is War Chief against the Magma Dragon. So surprisingly, shockingly, even over Brachus, War Chief is my most used champion in Skinwalkers. Here we go into the next one. Boom. Okay, now we're talking. Oh man.
What is wrong with you? I mean, what is your malfunction?
Suzerain is actually a pretty good champion. Let's see what you guys think here. His reviews, people say he's kind of like middle of the road. I do think that he deserves a buff. So when I say good, I don't mean like, you know, I mean slightly above average, has a lot of potential. On the A1, he has an AoE decreased speed. Let me know if you think I should build him out. And the thing is, I'm not sure where I would use him. Anyway, let's talk about his kit. An AoE decreased speed on the A1. That's a 50% chance at landing, not too bad for 2 turns. On the A2, this is what could be buffed, definitely, right? It's an AoE on a 4-turn cooldown, has a 75% chance here, or 80% chance, excuse me, at placing a 25% weakened debuff for 2 turns. Places a decreased defense debuff for 2 turns if a weakened debuff is not placed. Dude, that's a really bad ability for a legendary champion, especially with power creep. I mean, make it 100% chance at landing both. It's on a 4-turn cooldown anyway, right? Am I right? Even if the multipliers are good, and I will check those. And then on his A3, removes shield block damage unkillable from all enemies that attacks them, has a heal reduction debuff on enemies for 2 turns. The buff cannot be resist, or buff removal cannot be resist or blocked. Okay, so I actually really like that ability, but, and we've talked about this champion before, but it's been a while, right? All right, let me pull up his multipliers real quickly here. So it looks like if we go to Ayumi Love, and you can go here for all the multipliers on every champion. It's a 2.2 multiplier on his A1. It's an AoE though, so not bad. Then Hex of Years is 3.3 multiplier, and then Banish from Time is 2.8. So yeah, man, his multipliers kind of suck too. So he's not much of a nuker. He's just removing buffs and placing buffs. But again, this Hex of Years, to me, really needs a buff. So my most used Undead Horde champion is going to be I guess it would be right now Necrit the Great. We did a guide on him in case you guys missed it. Really, really fun champion. And then most wanted is Rotos. Yes, I did not do the fusion. I suck. So there we go. So those are my two there. So we pulled the legendary. The video is worth uploading, hopefully. Here we go. Boom. Make it an epic and make it Aina. Aina is a barbarian, and I think you guys already know who my number one is.
Help me.
There she is! My most used barb is going to be Sill of the Drakes. Let's see. You know what? Valkyrie might really be the most used. I don't know. Probably. You know what? It's probably very close between these two, and I'm actually using Turvold more too. So my most wanted is definitely going to be Ursigo Warcaller. Really would love to play her in some arena. But yeah, we'll see if we ever get her from a Void Shard. Her right up there with Hegemon and my most overall wanted champions. So now we have Shatterbones. Not to be confused. The same bot as Maneater, really, you know. Shatterbones, Ogryn Tribe. I've never maxed Shatterbones, but I've heard really good things. Kind of a turn meter specialist. My most used is going to be probably Ignatius. Or Ugo, actually. It might be Ugo over Ignatius, believe it or not. So I think Ugo is going to be my most used. You just can't get better than the block buffs with the decreased defense, right? That's a really, really strong ability on a 3-turn cooldown. Eat that, Suzerain, you know what I'm saying? And then a really good healer as well. So that's my most used. My most wanted is definitely Gurgo the Augur, a great freeze specialist. Again, we're getting into Void legendary territory there, so not going to be holding my breath. Here we go, a few more shards. Going with another epic and blood feather. Orc, my most used is going to be Seer. I can already tell you that. I use her still on all of the waves. Well, not all now, but up to floor like 100 on hard, I use her. So Seer is my most used. In terms of my most wanted, I guess it's going to be, well, we don't have that much in terms of, Gomlock obviously is, and this guy I heard he really sucks. Oh boy. Oof. His kit looked really awful too. He has very high base attack though. I don't know his multipliers, but anyway, he's not my I guess it's gonna be Gomlock. I mean, I'll get him eventually from Doom Tower, right? Okay, let's move it on here. Let's move it on. 3 more to go. And again, let me know if you like this kind of adding a little bit something extra to the video. I kind of like it. Rector Drath is a champion who, you know, we all knew he was going to be good when he was released. I did a guide, like, and this is why I don't like doing guides right when these champions come out, guys. Because Rector Drath, I don't feel like, a lot of these champions I feel like I'm too high on maybe, if I do a guide 2 days after I pull them. Rector Drath was actually one that I was a little bit too low on. I spoke very, very nice things about Rector Drath on the guide that I did on him. But he is really...
Look at me. I am a woman.
Or she. Why do I always call him a he? She, excuse me, sorry. Because I'm not used to the usual Plarium art on their females. They usually make it very anatomically obvious. Not with Rector, I guess. Anyway, I always do that. Very fast, very, very, very good healer. So, big fan. My most used champion is probably going to be... Believe it or not, believe it or not, it's going to be Doom Priest or Rector Drath are going to be the two champions, those two ladies. And obviously Hegemon is my #1 most wanted. Has been that way for a while now in the game. 2 more to go, guys. Here we go. Boom. Okay, Fenax, dude. Fenax is going to be probably my most used champion in Sacred Order. I've said it, 3 videos I feel like this week, so I won't belabor the point, but Fenax is such a good champion, man. Okay, so truth be told, I probably do use the legendaries in Sacred Order are so OP. My most wanted, by the way, is Cardial. Definitely, even over Sir Nick.
Be professional. We all have to work with people we hate sometimes.
And then my most used is probably going to actually be Venus. But I use, it might very well be Fenax. I don't know. Fenax is certainly my most used epic champion, and but I use Phoenix, Cupidus, and Abbess, and Martyr, so I use 4 legendaries here in Sacred Order. All right, 1 more to go, guys. Here it goes. Let's get that legendary gold to end this video off. Boom! Okay, there's a Juliana. Certainly not Juliana. I think Juliana's actually... I feel like whenever I talk any amount of critical way or any smack on any of these champions, people get really, really triggered. It's just my personal opinion.
That's my opinion!
I think the Juliana's overrated. So she has an increased rate on herself and then attacks 1 enemy 2 times, places a poison. Okay. Then an HP burn. So she places a poison on a 5-turn cooldown. And then she places an HP burn on a 5-turn cooldown, and she takes 1,000,000 books. Dude, Juliana, I've never been a fan. Even though people really love Juliana, man, for clan boss. But I just don't get it. Yeah, she has HP burn and poison on 2 separate 5-turn cooldown abilities. But really? That's it? Anyway, tell me why I'm wrong on Juliana, guys. But I guess we're just going to go ahead and end the video there. I apologize again for back-to-back shard opening videos. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. And best of luck if you ended up pulling any Sacred Shards from this 2x event. Trust me, more thoughtful content coming at you guys the rest of the week here on the channel. I appreciate you guys watching all the way till the end. And as always, take care, guys.